What a fun team game for us today again, and I think you can tell that we're having fun, we're getting better, and we played a very good Texas Tech team. And as a side note, you know, on a personal level, it's pretty cool to be able to coach along the sideline of a two-time cancer survivor in Krista Gerlich. So pretty amazing from that standpoint. Have a lot of respect for her and their program. And I didn't know that before, I just learned that. So it's yeah, pretty awesome. So I was able to talk to her about that after. And again, yeah, really excited about the way that we came out and the way that we finished.
10-0 start, set the whole tone for the whole game. I mean, they couldn't catch up. She admitted, you know, she said you hit it with the right cross and they never recovered. Talk about that great start for you.
Well, I do. I thought we came out with great energy. And then I thought they kind of clawed back, actually. It kind of felt like that. And then I felt like we finished the first quarter really well. But they don't go away, and they expose you, and they're a very good basketball team. So I was really happy with our team's effort and our team's continued focus throughout the game. And I don't think, you know, we had moments where, you know, there were little runs here and there, but for the most part, I thought our team did a great job of being able to stay really steady and focus where we needed to focus.
Before you came in, 27 assists on 34 baskets, and your post players 10 assists.
How about that?
So just sharing the ball.
Freshman center post, not just yeah, I know. Today, you know, and it was her turn to be able to do that. And yeah, and she's going to look at it and be like, oh, I needed to be better here. Oh, I need to be better here. And we're going to be like, yeah, but 10 assists is pretty amazing. So yeah, I thought our movement was really great. They threw a lot of different looks at us. So for her to be able to find some people, it helps when Aubrey can shoot the way that she can, or, you know, on the interior, I thought we did a pretty good job. But yeah, that was fun.
Aubrey, it seems like you've been kind of watching you play. It seems like you're getting consistently more comfortable, and obviously today's game was a huge one for you. Do you feel like this is something that's kind of been due almost for you, due for the big game like this, that you've gotten more comfortable? And how fun was this game for you today?
Yeah, it was really fun. I just think like my team really involves me, and like the offense, we do a lot of cutting and we just move the ball really well. So the ball found me today. So
yeah, and I think Aubrey's really grown so much. And we were just talking about this both on TV and post-game radio, that she's not a shooter, she's a basketball player, and you can see that. You can see her balance and her rebounding, the way that she continues to move. I thought her defense tonight was really good as well, and she continues to get better and better. And so I think she's putting less on, I have to be a shooter and that's my job, and more of, I need to show up every day and be a basketball player, and then guess what, the ball goes in sometimes, you know. And I think from that standpoint, so and I'm kind of putting words in, but you can just see her relentless effort tonight was incredible.
I wanted to ask about that, because there was probably 3 or 4 plays where I felt like you were on the ground or going after a ball, and I felt like the entire team was on the, like, if every player felt like they were on the floor diving for something. How big is that when the entire team is bought in to that relentlessness as a whole?
I think we just have this focus of wanting to get better. You know, everyone asks us the Big 12 championship questions, and then you know, before it was the records, and then it's something else. And right now, I think we literally just focus every day on maxing out and getting better. And I don't think it's a buy-in. I don't think I've had to sell that to one person on the team. I don't think our staff has had to say that. I think we show up to work every day and we're excited to come to practice. And, you know, it's been interesting because we've had people you know, outside come to practice and just watch practice and just talk about the engagement of everybody and how everybody's still really going really hard and being really competitive. I think our practices are almost more competitive now than they even were at the beginning of the year. I think we're learning to compete better. And so I think from that standpoint, it's showing in games.
Aubrey, you know, I was waiting for one of these games. I watched you so much at Iowa State. I knew what you're capable of. The adjustment, though, coming here and things like that, how long has it taken you to really get going? Because tonight you look like yourself to me, totally.
Yeah, I mean, my teammates and the coaches do a great job of helping with the adjustment, and then it's just another game. Like, you just get to play basketball. So I think that's just like I'm able to play basketball again. So that's just kind of how it feels.
When you coming out of high school, they always called you a gym rat. So basketball. That's kind of what you're saying. It wasn't that big of an adjustment.
Not a whole lot. I mean, just learning the offense and a new program. But other than that, like, you just show up every day and yeah.
Aubrey, do you feel like it was a lot easier for the team to flow into the rest of the game, getting out to such a hot start?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, with Anna's big threes at the beginning, that helped us jump out to an early lead. It led to a lot of energy off the bench and on the court, so I think that really helped us keep the energy going.
You're a great rebounder for a guard, and you're not very big, so talk about that. I know that's just toughness sometimes, digging your heels in there and not giving up space.
Yeah, I think just like knowing where the ball is going to come off the rim and just kind of wanting to go get it, I think it's a want.
Jennie, you were a great rebounder. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that's pretty amazing that she can do
No,
that.
I think she just has a knack for it, and I think we have a couple people that really do. I think Skylar's another one of those that just kind of has a knack for it, and I think, in Anna, I think she moves her. I think Aubrey and Anna really add an element to our offense because they just keep moving, and so sometimes when you keep moving and you start playing with the ball, those loose balls or those rebounds kind of tend to find you and bounce your way, and so I think she has that. But I also think the game, sometimes we overcomplicate it, especially as coaches, we do that. And I think as players, I think they're playing the game right now and they're playing together. And I think that's where she just relishes. I mean, she's a middle child, of 5 people. And so she's team all the time. And so I think from that standpoint, I think she just plays with and for the people around her. And so that's why I think it's been an easy transition. I think she did that at Iowa State. And I think she's doing that here.
Jennie, we've talked about your depth a lot this season, but just having Anna, Taylor, and Maddie not have their best offensive night tonight, you guys still scored 84 points. Do you think it's becoming easier for your team to have other players step up in those moments, or players are stepping up more in those moments recently?
Yeah, I think that's also really nice to be able to balance the minutes in February. I think they really maxed out. I mean, even though Anna, to be able to get Anna some rest at some point is really nice too. But I also feel like when she's out there, she's really maxed out because she's had to play a lot of games of high minutes. I feel the same way about Nevaeh. She's had some high minute games lately too. And so I feel like the way that we're able to balance the minutes out and the production. The last game, and we were coming off of a game where everyone that played had at least a rebound, an assist, and a point. I mean, that's pretty cool. And we can't even figure out when that happened last. So if any of you guys can, James, maybe we'll give that to you. I tried to give that to Brian Brinkley. Josh already tapped out. But that's what we want to do here. I mean, it's going to be, somebody's night. I mean, tonight it's Aubrey's night. She's got a hot hand. And she also, it wasn't even that she had a hot hand and she just was making threes. I mean, look at the plays she made out of just pure effort, pure roll up your sleeves, go get the ball effort. And so you never want it to be like, oh, the magical hot hand you're playing with. It's a fun style to be able to play because I think you don't have to always be on. Someone can cover for you, but you still get really good looks. I mean, there's still opportunity there too. So I think from that standpoint, I feel like we did a better job of offensive rebounding tonight too, and we haven't been. So that helps a little bit with the balance.
This is your second pink game with OU. It wasn't as exciting as last year.
For you. Yes.
Just what's it like to experience this and play in a game with a deeper meaning?
Yeah, I think, it was fun for us today at shoot around, and Aubrey's already heard me say this now a few times, but a lot of times when you come into these pink games and, because you have them in high school now, you have them in college, and so it's a really cool time to be able to have perspective. And the first perspective is you always want to come in and you're like, I want to play for so-and-so, right? I've got my grandma, I've got my dad, I've got my mom, I've got, all these people. And you start to realize how we're all so impacted by this disease. And then tonight we changed it a little bit and we threw everybody into the pot, right? And we played for everybody that we could play for. And I think when you can do that, when you can play for all of our friends, all of our family, and then play for this whole community, that's when it's really cool, And I think we really took that to heart tonight. It wasn't let's just go do this. It was, let's talk about who the people are. Let's put them in there, and we're going to play for everybody. And then I think the other couple things, our players went and volunteered at the Stevenson Cancer Center. And so for them to have that intimate interaction with people that are currently fighting gives you a little bit of perspective. And then when you're running down the tunnel and like nobody gets to see this but us, you got these little kids screaming on one side and they're giving you high fives. And then you have all these women in pink shirts and they're all survivors, right? Or they're fighting right now. And it gives you this gigantic perspective of what wearing an Oklahoma jersey is. When our tunnel, because it's not a small tunnel, it's a big tunnel, and there's all sorts of kids looking at you, and then there's all these other survivors and all these other people that you're playing for. And I think that's when all of a sudden that Oklahoma means a little bit more, and I think it's just an incredible time for us to be able to gain some perspective of what we're actually doing and why we're doing it.
Anything else, guys?
Appreciate you guys.
everybody.
Thanks for being here.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.